This is me on my way to Ahimsa Sanctuary. I'm gonna make a second video, but it's currently still in the works. But in the meantime, I hope you can enjoy this debate between me and a non-vegan troll that showed up on a vegan Discord I'm a member of. Hope you enjoy.
I got a different argument.
Yeah. So you have a different argument?
uh, what if someone just wants to eat meat because they're a fat bastard?
I mean, wanting to do something isn't a moral justification for doing it.
Well, I know, but it's still fucking legal.
Legality doesn't have anything to... I mean, we already discussed this with the other guy, that legality doesn't have anything to do with morality. At one point in history...
That's not my excuse today, though. I'm just saying.
Well, at one point in history in the United States, slavery was legal. And that didn't make
it
right.
And
it was still wrong.
Fertilization of the mentally ill, that didn't make it okay. I understand that.
It was still wrong.
Yeah, I know. And morally wrong, I guess, but the animal isn't really as aware as the human is of life and death, if you understand.
Well, depending on the human stage, like we discussed earlier, at birth and at hatching, baby chicks are actually more intelligent than humans. Baby humans can't recognize anything, but a baby chicken can recognize up to 100 of its peers.
They're smarter because of instinct. A baby human is... They become smarter, and their brains slowly develop as they get older, because that's just how many complexities there are to the human brain.
Well, if intelligence has anything to do with anything, why don't you keep pigs as pets and eat dogs instead? Have dog bacon.
It's just a preference, I guess.
So then it doesn't have anything to do with intelligence.
No, it does.
Well, pigs are more intelligent than dogs, so...
It's kind of instinct. Humans would make peace with animals such as dogs, wolves, and they'd make that their pet, and like train them to hunt and shit.
Well, the history of dogs is kind of happenstance. Wolves would forage for food kind of in human waste dumps, and back in the day, humans mostly ate plant foods that they harvested and farmed. So,
is there proof of that?
So wolves would eat out of our garbage waste dumps, and they would get exposure to humans and get used to us that way. And that's how they came to befriend us, by eating our mostly plant-based foods out of our dumps. And yeah, there's scientific evidence showing the composition of tooth plaque from ancient people that were excavated at archaeological sites. They mostly ate plant foods. Or the plaque on your teeth that has food particles built up in it. Yeah, they chemically analyze that stuff.
You know, motherfuckers thought if you rode too far from the earth, you would fucking fall off the earth. So I don't think everyone back then was vegan.
Well, it wasn't by choice back then. People mostly ate plant foods because that was the easiest thing to farm, and that was the most widely available food.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't really much about morality back then. It was more of a survival situation, but... You know, when you're poor and in a somewhat survival farming situation, it's better to just eat the plants that you're farming instead of feeding them to animals in hopes that the animals don't get sick and die of some disease so that you can eat their bodies. It made more sense back then to just eat the plants, because then nothing goes to waste. So that's why people throughout history have eaten heavily plant-based diets, but also eaten animals.
Everything kind of needs to die.
Yeah, but
Lions fight to survive, and humans fight. Well, technically, humans fight to survive.
well,
It's
let's
just easier for humans. It's more available for humans to survive.
let's go with one argument at a time. Everyone dies someday. I can't
Yeah.
use that as a moral justification to do a mass shooting. I can't say, oh well, they were going to die someday anyway, so it's okay.
Well, no, because humans have morals and standards now.
Yeah. So I
It's
can't.
not like some animal developed that, and animals are completely different from humans, and humans know a lot more than animals.
Well, I can't have beans, rice, and potatoes available in front of me, and a chicken running around,
I
and
know. I'm
kill
just
the
explaining
chicken
to them
and
that
justify it.
vegetables and meat is about the same thing.
Well, I can't justify it based on, oh well, the chicken was gonna die someday anyways. I had plenty of other food to eat without harming somebody else.
I'm talking the chicken's intelligent, bro.
They are intelligent. So the other argument,
He's intelligent enough to know a lot of things like life, existence, self-awareness.
yeah, they are self-aware. Yeah.
Well, they're not aware that you're gonna die someday, and they don't think about this shit over and over, so it's not as cruel and harsh to them because they don't understand enough to
Well,
have a will exactly.
we can't
That's
know
how
they
rape
don't.
is.
We can't know
Back
they
then,
have no
they
concept of death. I mean, they watch their peers die. So, how do you know for
back
sure they have no
then,
concept of death?
back then, they would fucking men would rape women because the women didn't exactly have rights, nor did black people. So they would enslave black people. They would rape women.
Uh huh.
Now that people have a system that enforces their will, there's justification to things now.
So you're saying back then it was morally correct to
I'm saying
enslave and rape?
no. I said that's how they went. That's how they went by.
Uh huh.
They didn't have any laws opposing it or anything.
So how can you say today we don't do anything immoral?
I'm saying it's less likely for an average human to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, look at other areas of our life. You have plenty of choices of plant foods, so why would it be moral to intentionally inflict harm on someone else when you don't have to?
I never said it was immoral. I just said it made sense because it's still survival, like it or not. Humans aren't gonna just walk up to a lion and just be friends with them.
All right,
They don't have
again with the
tools. They don't
lion.
have.
Again with the
They don't
lion.
have.
Let's do one
a
argument at
tool.
a time. Again with the lion argument. I don't understand why people try to base their morals on lions. If our society based its morals on lions, we would. If I dated a single mother, I would kill her children and eat their corpses, because that's what lions do when they start fucking
No, I'm
another
comparing
lion.
the differences between a human and an animal. A human has morals and standards. An animal, you can't really control them that well because exactly they're not really intelligent enough. That's basically the main reason.
Yeah, not only that, but lions are obligate carnivores. At the most, we're omnivores, and so we still have a choice to cause as much suffering as possible with our diet or cause as little suffering as possible.
It's not as black and white as you think. It's not like everything is really torture and humane. That's some areas that can't afford a healthy, wealthy, normal, dignified, sophisticated killing of the animals.
And so why not go vegan then? I mean, beans and rice are some of the cheapest foods you can buy.
It's just preference at the end of the day, kind of.
I actually spend less money on food now that I'm vegan than I did before. So it's not a cost issue.
You get more proteins from meat than vegetables, by the way.
Actually, I get more protein on a vegan diet than I used to on a non-vegan diet. Because I actually watch now. I get about the same amount of protein as some bodybuilders get.
If you gave a dog, for example, a bunch of vegetables every day, that dog's slowly going to get skinny and die. If you even give it the right vegetables, that animal's gonna die someday or be very weak and not be able to control itself and live. Humans eat animals because they survive off of it,
I'm
and it's
s-
not that horrible if it's just an animal that is not as intelligent as a human. Humans would. This is why humans have trials and shit, court. They have laws defending their wills. They're aware that people have a will.
yeah, but an
Animals,
animal is still a
they
sentient
aren't
being, and
intelligent enough to develop like a will.
yeah, but
They don't even know
they're
what's
still
happening the day they're
they're
slaughtered.
still a sentient being, and you're still choosing to kill
Yeah,
them over
they are
plant
living.
foods that are equally as nutritious.
It's just the fact that they're not as intelligent enough. If a cow lived 20 years and it had intelligence of a human, almost like 75 IQ, yeah, it'd have trials and shit.
So, are you in favor of mercy killing of mentally retarded people?
No,
Why not? They're not as intelligent as us. So, by your
they're
logic,
still
it's okay to kill
intelligent.
them.
They're not that completely unintelligent. They're still very aware of their existence. They're just not as exactly smart
Well, it depends
as
on
the
where
average.
they are in the spectrum of mental retardation.
It's not like they know not how to say hi.
Is that my
Some of them
daddy
don't.
toy?
They are significantly different from animals. They're still extremely smart, considered animals.
Well, I mean, you put a cow in the wild, you put a mentally retarded person in the wild. I can bet who's going to survive longer.
Yeah, that's the way life goes.
So that means the human is less capable then, and so it's okay to kill them by your definition.
Yeah,
Well,
you
I
gotta
beg to
eat. You gotta
differ.
eat.
I beg to differ. I'm not going to kill a mentally retarded human or an animal because I have plant foods to eat. Plant foods which are cheaper than animal
Whereas
products.
a cheetah, a lion, a wolf, any aggressive animal would kill you.
Well, I would definitely fight to try to survive. Like I
It's the
said
fact that
before,
we have a better
like I
way of
said
killing the
before,
animal than the animal knows of killing another animal.
I do carry guns. So I mean, if something is running at me to attack me, it's going to get shot. Just because I believe in causing as least harm as possible with my lifestyle doesn't mean I'm not interested in self-preservation.
It's called self-defense.
It's called self-defense. Yep, self-preservation. That is not outside of my philosophy. I mean, I still believe in self-preservation. So,
Somebody's coming at you like a feral human being that has intent of murdering you, and they're just kicking in their natural instinct to survive. You
yeah,
would shoot them
that's right.
if they're trying to kill you. When humans do have morals, they do have standards,
Yeah.
you would kill them because that person has gone fucked in the head and they're feral as shit.
Well, I mean, I live
Eliminating the threat before something terrible happens to someone.
I live in the hood, and the possibility of having to kill somebody is real every day.
hmm
You live in
So,
the hood.
I mean, I'm not beyond that. So, I'm not sure what point you're trying to make. Are you saying that cows and chickens and pigs are running wild and trying to kill us? And we're killing them in self-defense, or what?
There have been cases where cows have killed people, by the way.
Yeah, most likely on accident or because they were mishandling them. Like bulls at rodeos. They actually snap their tails. They break their tails to get them pissed off enough to act like that.
That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, so it's little wonder why they
But it's
attack
not like it's
humans.
the 1900s anymore. People have standards and they have sophisticated ways and justified ways that eliminate the animal or execute them or whatever.
Yeah,
the
but
fuck
you
wanna
said
call
most
it.
people can't afford it that way.
No private.
You can't have it both ways.
You do believe in pescetarians, right?
What do you mean? Do I believe they exist?
Do you believe that their beliefs are right and correct, morally correct?
Hey, Mercy, could you mute Naruto? They're interrupting shit. Thank you. Do I believe they're morally better than somebody who kills other animals and eats them? No.
Do you believe they're morally better than someone that just buys fish or fucking chicken at a store?
No, a pescetarian is somebody who eats dead fish.
No, a pescetarian is someone that hunts their own food and gets the food.
No, pesce is fish. It's fish in Latin. A pescetarian is someone who eats fish and plant products.
There's multiple fucking definitions, isn't there?
No, pesce is fish in Latin. The prefix for the word pescetarian means fish. So
I've only had people fucking hunt for fish so they could eat the fish.
there's the definition there. Mercy Merv posted it in the chat. So it's somebody who eats fish and plant foods. So no, they're not more morally correct than anybody else who kills animals and eats them. They're still killing animals and eating them when they don't have to.
They don't have to, that's true, but it's still food.
Yeah, but they don't have to. They don't have to cause suffering to sentient beings.
It's not suffering. It's just killing of them. The only thing any animal on this planet knows is they kill, you know that, right?
Is there a humane way to kill you when you don't want to die?
What?
Is there a humane way for somebody to kill you when you don't want to die? Is there a nice way to murder somebody?
You know there's execution chairs, right?
Yeah, but that's for people who have done very wrong things. What about a normal person? Is there a nice way to murder somebody who has never done anything wrong?
I don't think I can answer that.
You can't answer it in the way you would like to answer it without lying. There is no humane way to kill somebody who doesn't want to die. Because animals are sentient beings, that would mean they are someone. And they don't want to die. And so when I don't have to kill them in a non-survival situation, which is like what we're in right now, talking here on Discord inside of our homes, this is not a survival situation, and so it's unnecessary to kill somebody who doesn't want to die in order to have food, because we can subsist off of entirely plant foods.
I think you're getting more that this is mentally wrong than physically wrong.
It's morally wrong, yeah. I'm not trying to argue it's bad for your health.
Intelligence tells you it's wrong, right?
My
At
conscience.
the end of the day, it'd be survival if man was not intelligent at all, and they just killed to survive. You could agree with that, right?
That's not the case, though.
So you would still be vegetarian if you had no brain.
Listen, if I was a low IQ follower, like a lot of people are, I probably would have never gone vegan.
Intelligent at all.
If we were wild animals, would we be wild animals? Yes. If we were wild animals, we would be wild animals. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
I mean,
would you still be vegan? Because what I said, if you that's mentally wrong to you rather than physically wrong. You understand that, right?
yeah, veganism isn't about health, it's about morals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think what you mean by physically wrong is that it's in a selfish way, it's wrong for us to consume animal products because it's bad for us, physically. That's not what veganism is about. It's about arguing the morals. Kind of like I was saying before, I didn't go vegan for my health, I went vegan for the animals. I went vegan for the moral issue, and I worried about health later. And it just happens to turn out the most healthy diet you can have is a whole food plant-based diet. I don't eat all whole foods. I do cook with some plant oils, and I once in a while eat processed foods like mock meats whenever it's convenient if I'm lazy or whatever. I do eat a lot of whole food, plant-based foods, but I eat processed stuff too. I mean, it wasn't 100% about health at all. When I first went vegan, it was about the morals. It was about these animals I'm paying to be killed for something that I don't need. I could just eat plants instead.
Sometimes it's just not for everyone, I guess.
Yeah, it's 100% moral, and that's what a lot of people have trouble grasping is like, why? How does it benefit you? I'm like, well, it doesn't necessarily benefit me. It clears my conscience because I'm not paying for sentient beings to suffer on my behalf so that I can have the pleasure of eating their corpse or their excretions. But
You're right.
it's not an entirely selfish movement, which is why a lot of people have trouble grasping it. Because most people are selfish. They're like, well, if it doesn't benefit me in really massively in some way, I'm not going to do it.
The fact is, because the animal doesn't even understand that's what you're doing. And it only affects you, you know that, right? Mentally. The animal does not know that you just did that. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you can do nice acts without anybody knowing, and it's still nice. You can do something nice for somebody, like leaving a penny at the take a penny, leave a penny at the gas station. The next person who needs a penny and doesn't have one will use your penny you left behind. They'll never know you, but it was still a nice act.
You were mentioning mentally disabled people, which was a really good analogy. I'm gonna use that right now. It's like if you gave someone with ASD a lollipop and they forget who the fuck you are the next day, like ASD and short-term memory disorder.
Yeah. Yeah, in the moment, you made them happy.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really benefit anyone.
Yeah, but in the moment you made them happy, it's
Just
a good deed.
mentally, that makes you feel better. Some people just don't thrive on getting mental enjoyment and satisfaction.
Well, I have this thing called calculator. It's spelled with cow, like the bovine cow, culator. And it shows me that somewhere around 460 animals to date haven't had to be born into the existence that I was paying for them to exist in because of my choice to go vegan so far. And it adds up. 460 something animals haven't had to be born into that hell. And so
I'm saying that
these are
meat eaters and vegetarians.
Well, these are real sentient beings we're talking about. It matters to them. Imagine if you were born as a pig or a chicken, I'm sure you would wish that humans wouldn't do those things to you.
Yeah, but I lack the intelligence to think so at all, or even grasp the situation of that.
Well, you would still be in the situation and suffering because of my choices. And so I'm saving all those sentient beings from that torment.
It's the same as the fact that I wouldn't even know that you saved my life or you killed me. It's unawareness.
What does it matter? Like I said, with the take a penny, leave a penny thing, that person who used the penny and needed it that I left at the cash register, they'll never know me. They'll never know what the person looked like who left that penny to help them make that last one penny for their purchase.
No, I'm just saying it's not for everyone because you literally get nothing from it. It's like someone just playing a game one day and the gaining satisfaction from playing it while someone's just sitting down on the fucking ground doing nothing. They've done the same amount of things that day. The thought of that. Where I gain something real is when I've helped someone that is intelligent and they understand that I've helped them.
Because they can help you back later, or what? Because they'll help you later on.
If there's a human leaving a penny and that has helped them, yeah. If you did the same thing for a human that you did for a cow, it would be better because they are intelligent and they understand that you did that, even if they do not know who you are at all.
Isn't it better?
Whatsoever.
Isn't it better to do good deeds without expecting a reward?
I never said expecting a reward. I just said it'd be better knowing you did that for a human because a human knows that happened to them, but not you did it at all.
Well, that's a very human-centric view. We're just animals who created language and can build things because of opposable thumbs. Other than that, we're nothing special either. We're still just mammals.
Yeah, intelligent ones. If cows were just as intelligent as human beings, we would get the same amount of enjoyment from them. Nothing less, nothing more. But the fact is that they're not. So that's the one difference.
So it boils down to relatability and potential for gaining something from them.
You know, if I did grow up with cows and on a farm and shit, I'd probably be vegan because of how close I'd be with the animals.
Yeah. I have a friend who owns an animal sanctuary, and I've spent time with the cows, and they're like giant dogs, seriously.
Yeah, that seems great. That seems great and all. That's really nice and a good thing to do, but it's just not for me. You understand?
Yeah, well, I only went there after going vegan. I believed in all the propaganda that you do about humane slaughter and animals being raised right and all this garbage. I believed in all of that when I went vegan.
That all wasn't the same.
I just came to the conclusion that it's wrong to take their life when I don't have to.
Not every slaughterhouse is just like that, though.
Yeah, but it's still slaughtering them. It's still taking their life from them when they don't want to die for a product I don't need.
Like I said, it's just not for me, I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it took me a year of wrestling with the issue in my mind. It took about a year for me to finally come to the breaking point where I'm like, all right, that's it. This is the day I go vegan.
I probably will go vegan, maybe.
Oh, can you feel it changing? My heart is almost racing.